everyone, it's Jamie, and today I'm officially here to do the book newbie tag. I meant to do this a couple weeks ago, back when my channel was on its first week, and it just did not have time to get to it, and then finally I did, and couldn't get the editing right when I tried to post it, tried to edit a couple little parts out where I had awkward pauses, and somehow I ended up sounding like a CD that was skipping, so that was no good. So here I am again, take two. Let's see if we can do a little better. So the tag was originally created by Brenda C, and I'll leave her link down below. And since she created it, a few other people have added their own questions or renditions of the tag to better introduce themselves. I'm kind of combining that with some questions that Trina from Between Chapters has used. And again, I'll leave her link as well so you can see both their videos. And we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Before I do, I want to apologize. I have a dog here next to me, plus I have a swamp cooler running and a fish tank behind me, and it's a really hot day, so the fish tank has been making some extra noises, plus the air conditioner you might hear. If you do, I apologize. It's over 105 degrees, and I'm just trying my best to stay cool in the middle of the afternoon heat. So, the first question, I have my little cheat sheet here, so if you see me looking away, I do apologize, is why did you start this channel? And Trina added, where are you joining us from? What is the meaning behind your channel name? And how did you discover Booktube, which is a little different than the channel, so let me tell you this little story real quick. The channel was started years and years ago, I don't even know how many, back toward the beginning of YouTube basically, and it was mainly used for viewing and finding videos I liked that I added to what they call the favorite shelf. I don't even know if they had other playlists available at the time, honestly, or if I just didn't know how to use them, really. But everything just got thrown into one master list, which is still there today. Some are deleted, but some things have just been there for that long. Of things you can find, and that's where it started. I didn't get into Booktube, actually, until a few years ago. My first attempt was a while back, but it was actually just for my blog. I was just trying to do away with what they call a stacking the shelves post and try to video format. So that went on there alone. Didn't really care for how that turned out, so I left that alone for years. And now I'm back here. What got me into Booktube officially was actually Ashley at Bookish Realm. I'll leave her link, was a secret sister of mine. And when I found out who she was and discovered her, I started watching and following her channel and found others through after that. So that's what got me originally really started on Booktube officially as a community. I'd seen other little random posts, the occasional unboxing or little random bits, but never really knew of it as a community on YouTube until then. Where am I from? I'm from California in the US. Unfortunately not coastal California, which I know is how many people see California. I have no ocean near me. It is a full day trip to be able to go to the beach, which I do actually happen to love and would love to live closer, but can't afford the cost of living there. My name is basically JL Jaina. It's my initials combined with actually my favorite character from Star Wars, Jaina Solo. Another character I really like is also Jaina Proudmoore from Warcraft, so it was a great combination. I've been using the name for many, many years now, going back to original old fanfic forums for Star Wars years and years ago, back when I was like in middle school. So it goes back quite a ways, and it's just what I use on Twitter and Instagram and everything else. It's just kind of a profile handle name I've used. It's an easy way to find me through various platforms, and so I've just stuck with it after all these years and figured I might as well just keep going, so you can find me across anything under that. Just about. So that's where the name came from. My actual name's Jamie. You can go by either one. I can go by either one though. So the next question is what are some fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube? Well, it's hard to bring a lot of unique things. There's so many people out there that are so unique, and that's the biggest thing right there, is just being able to bring yourself, or in this case myself, and anything that comes with that, my interests, my tastes, just the honest thing that goes with it. That's really what this is going to be. Other things I'll be throwing in is not just only books. Well, it's going to be primarily books. There will be other things, movies, TV shows, video games, things like that will also probably be in here, and maybe just other things on life or whatever else. So it's just going to be really me is the real thing that's going to be fun and unique. I'm hoping to do a lot of like book to movies or book to game things are something I'm going to have probably a lot of fun with in particular. I'll probably be breaking away from more of the reviews, doing more discussions. I really just want to use this as a place to talk and interact. Get those going down below in the comments. If you comment, I'll be happy to respond to you, and would love to get some really discussions going on some bookish topics. What am I most excited for about this channel? Well, exactly that, is meeting new people, hopefully some friends, getting out there, getting to know some other people in the community, giving and getting book recommendations, and just having a great time amongst that. So that's kind of what I'm excited for. It's just something different. I had a blog, Valia's Page Turner. I'll leave that link down below, that I'm no longer actively using. It's been slowly dying off over the past couple years, as Booktube has been on the rise, while blogging is not as popular as it once was, and for me was a big time constraint, and was mostly focused on reviews and tours, and I felt there's a lot of pressure to that I wasn't enjoying as much, and I lost the love. I was starting to lose my love of reading, but I wanted to give this a chance to see where it goes and see if I can spark some of that back up. I've been enjoying my reading over the past year immensely again, and started to discuss and share, and I was losing that connections some, so I'm hoping this will re-get that going. Why do I love reading? This actually combines with the next question, is what book or book series got you into reading? So I have a little story to go with that as well. When I was younger, I actually did not like to read when I was little. When I was in first grade, where the state I was living in, we were behind on my reading, I guess, compared to when I moved to another state and school district. I got kind of criticized and teased, and my teachers went to my parents and said, Jamie's way behind on her reading. We need to get her caught up to everybody else. I don't know, I guess just the educational process was different with what they're focused on. Mine was still on teaching us basic phonics, yet when I, and stuff like that, yet the school I was at definitely wants you to actually be able to pick up a full, any picture book basically, and be able to read it, no problem. And I couldn't do that. I could read some, but not very many. And so my parents, they doubled my homework time for my reading. So 40 minutes a day, every day of reading. Myself. I can read with my parents, and eventually became to my parents. So at first I hated it. It was just an extra chore. It was hindering me from playing. In second grade, though, all that changed. Because of the extra push in my reading, my parents actually kept me up on that all summer long. Even though I was caught up, they didn't want me to fall behind again. So they actually kept pushing me to do all that reading. So when school started again, I was actually ahead. I was actually bored with what we were reading in school. So the school librarian and the teacher decided to open up the entire school library to me, which normally did not happen until third grade. So I got basically to pick and choose anything I wanted, and that opened up a whole new world of books to me, where I wasn't restrained to this little tiny 2-shelf area of books to choose from, basically. Actually, it's a little more than that, but there really was not much to choose from for the younger age level reading. So that really opened up, and the teachers in the library and offered up that freedom to read what I wanted to. And I got into Hank the Cowdog was actually probably the first official chapter book series I got into, followed by the Babysitter's Club and some others. And that's how I started to actually like reading, was when I got to pick out the books myself and my own independence. And that held since. But my real big turning point was actually years later, in between, those, there, I got into other things from, but 7th grade was my biggest turning point. I was in class and was enjoying reading. I loved to read, and I got really into my reading, where I had a tendency of tuning out the rest of the world. And my last class was English, and we did a silent reading for the last, 10-15 minutes of class or whatever it was usually. And so I was doing that, and apparently the bell rang. Everyone left. My teacher left for a meeting while we were all gathering. All was kind of, to help ourselves out of this class. I don't remember the bell ringing, so I just kept reading, and I didn't notice anything around me of them moving. I don't know how I missed this, but I did. And my teacher comes back after her class meeting, and I'm still there reading, and she looks to me, and it's like an hour after school's been out. And I was just enjoying my book. So we started talking, so she let me go and reminded me. And later, a few days later, she pulled me aside again and was just talking about what I like to read and how I was really into it. But she knows I was kind of bored with the classroom assigned readings. So we were talking, and she got me into some other books, including Dean Koontz and Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, and a few other more mature and darker books. And it introduced me to a whole new world of reading, getting out of the chapter books and middle grade books and into adult novels. And I fell in love even further and didn't look back. In fact, for years I didn't even like middle grade or teen novels until Harry Potter actually came out, and that was actually, I think the third book was out when I actually first read Harry Potter finally. So that tells you how far behind I was there. So that's where my love of reading came from, and it has since then broadened and expanded and grown, and I like almost everything. So what questions would I ask my favorite booktubers? The next question. Honestly, I'm not sure. That'll depend on the booktuber. Some of them I may just ask questions on anything from how they got started and how they got interactive with their audience and got people to actually watch their videos, to their editing tips and tricks, because I am clueless when it comes to that. Would be for some of them. Others, it would just be chatting about the books that they love and about what their passions are. I just like talking to them. I have a wide range of the more playful and lighthearted booktubers that I follow, to some more serious ones that are much more just of a discussion, kind of like what this is right now. Others do just tags, others do reviews. So there's a lot of favorites that I have that do different things, and that's what I like, is the variety. So the questions would change depending on who they were. The last question, the official question from Brenda, is what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome or to face? For me, it's going to be the editing. I am horrible at it. My one attempt turned out to be a disaster. So these are going to be pretty much probably not going up just as they are. Every little awkward pause and glance away that there is. Focusing on the camera, I'm not very good at that, apparently. I'm actually very camera shy, so this is a new thing for me to get over. So please work with me and bear with me as I attempt to get better. But obviously getting people into the videos enough to be patient with me through them is going to be probably my biggest thing to overcome and to face, I think. So those are the official questions. A couple others. Trina asks, is what type of books do I read or do I want to talk about here? Anything and everything. I read primarily fiction, and with a specialty emphasis of most of my books are young adult to adult, but I do read children's books in middle grade too. I like fantasy, horror, paranormal, sci-fi, and mystery, more the mystery suspense novels. Those are probably my favorite genres, but I will cross over into anything. There's nothing really that's a no-no. You probably won't see a lot of Western fiction here. A lot of poetry probably is not going to be as common here. And nonfiction won't be as common unless it's something that really interests me for the subject matter. But those will be hit too periodically. Those are probably my main interests. Again, I'm also, like I said, a gamer, especially like an RPG gamer, so anything that crosses over into that, that's going to be on here a lot and discussed a lot, or if there's books about them. Like I have the Warcraft novels that I'll be doing, Vampire the Masquerade, the book series, as well as the original tabletop RPG that I like to do. So those type of things I really get into. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I also like anime and manga a lot. So a lot of mangas, graphic novels will also be on here and discussed. So it's an open channel. Nothing's off. Contemporaries are available. Romances. It's just historical fiction. It all could technically be here, or over time some will be more than others. So, books that I prefer, she asked, hardcover, paperback, ebook, physical, owning, or borrowing. Well, obviously, I love to own my books. I actually have taken a 10 by 16 shed and converted it into a private library that my husband actually built, shelving along 2.5 of the walls. Eventually, once I'm done, I'm still trying to organize and list my books and actually put them in an order that I like. Once that'll fit. I have more books that technically can fit right now, unfortunately, still. It tells you how many books I have. But once that's done, I'll probably take a tour and show you all that. So I do like to own when I can, but I also borrow all the time from my library. My card is almost always maxed out, and it's 25 book max out, plus I can do interlibrary loaning as well. But I always have 20 plus books in the library out at any given time, and I'm always loving to borrow and swap with friends and family. So, hardcover or paperback, I'll take either. When it comes to looks, I love hardcovers. I love the shine. I love the nice sheen the books can also have. I like how it looks on the shelves. It's much more appealing and attractive. However, for practicality of actual reading, especially if it's a larger book, paperback. Having to hold a big hardback that's 600 plus pages is hard on tiring on the hand after a while, or even I'll switch to ebook if that's the case when I can sometimes, even though I'm not a huge ebook person. I prefer physical every time. there's something tangible about the feel and the smell and the turning of the pages to a physical book over an ebook. My least favorite is probably audiobooks. I'm not a big audiobook fan. I'm really picky when I listen as to how good the narrator can be when they're telling the story. So I don't have a lot of the patience for a lot of it. I feel like my creativity and my mental imagination of envisioning what's happening in the book is better when I'm reading it myself as well. So I prefer my own reading of it versus listening to somebody else. But I do use audiobooks for rereads or books that I'm only semi into. So I will use them for those purposes. The other thing she asked was links. I will leave those down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I have a Facebook page, it was my blog. I'll even leave a link to my old blog. You can check them all out down below. So you can see, grab me on Goodreads, I'm on there a lot, and Twitter quite a bit, or probably Instagram are three of my main things. But you can grab me on just about anywhere you see me. Again, just look for the same handle and username that I use here, and you can find me across any platform you want pretty much. And that's about it for now. So catch everyone later, and I hope you enjoyed this channel it comes to bring. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll either answer them down below or maybe even eventually do a Q&A. So I'll check you guys later. Bye.